Hello again. I've discovered 7 new free VR games on Steam. Let me show you what I found. Puppet Blaster is a Wild West zombie dungeon crawler. This reminded me of the original Zelda game in the way that you explore square areas that fill with enemies, and you need to clear all the enemies before you can leave. It features a control scheme I haven't seen before. You move the hero with your left thumb pad, but his arms follow the movement of your arms. It takes a while to get used to, but it's pretty cool. I found this game quite difficult. I haven't been able to beat it on easy, and medium difficulty completely destroys me. It's a fun and original miniature shooter. The Bond is a short film about how all things are connected. The design and quality reminded me of the Avatar movie. There's a couple of scenes that are suddenly really jarring in movement, but it wasn't a deal breaker for me. Runtime is 7 minutes. Hang Up is a horror game which places you in front of an old phone line switchboard. When you make a connection, you can listen in on the phone call. I didn't realize this was a horror game before I played it, so I couldn't play this for long. I can't say what comes later in the game, but I'm pretty sure it's something scary as you can hear something coming up from behind you in the room. If you like scary games, then check it out.
Hey, so, are you going on Saturday? I really don't want to go alone.
Sophie's Guardian is a wave shooter with a creative story behind it. You're a teddy bear and your owner has vanished, so it's up to you to shoot and kill all the possessed dolls that approach you. You stand in one place while the dolls walk toward you. I didn't find this scary at all, it's an okay game, but there was one thing about it that I found impressive. If you choose Puppeteer mode, you play an asymmetrical multiplayer game with one player in VR and another on the same PC. The second player gets to manipulate the doll's spawn points with the use of a gamepad. I'm always on the lookout for interesting asymmetrical games, so in that regard, this is worth trying at least once with a friend. WebbVR, the James Webb Space Telescope Virtual Experience, is perhaps the longest name for a VR experience I've ever seen. It starts with a 3-minute intro about the new telescope being launched. When I was watching the intro, I thought this whole thing would be just a commercial for the new telescope. But there's some interesting content in here for fans of astronomy, as there's a handful of science activities in here. You can travel to all the planets of our solar system, after which you can freely fly around. I found it pretty interesting to fly around Saturn. You'll also find some interactive experiences like feeding stars to a black hole, or shooting boulders to begin building a planet. If you enjoy astronomy or small science lessons, then definitely check it out.
This immense collection of stars, dust, and gas, swirling in an enormous spiral galaxy, is one example of the complex systems the James Webb Space Telescope can study.
Project Cars Pagani Edition is a racing game that slipped under my radar until a viewer recommended it to me. It's pretty light on content. There are limited cars to choose from and only a few racetracks. But it's highly polished, and I found it pretty challenging. There's both competitive racing and solo time trials. During any race, you can change your viewing perspective, which is a nice option for a racing game. You'll need a keyboard or gamepad to play this one. And finally, VR Trivia Battle is a trivia game. There's single player and multiplayer, and in between trivia rounds, you play minigames against your opponents. I found it surprisingly fun for a trivia game. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. See ya!